to bust up the therapy session, but your hour is up. Who the heck are they?
Guys, Marvel has one of the most powerful and emotionally broken X-Men sitting in the background, and they refuse to use him. His name is Havoc, Alex Summers, Cyclops' brother, leader of X-Factor, survivor of alternate realities, and he might be the most wasted character in X-Men history. All right, guys, for you guys that don't know the origin story of Alex Summers, he was created by Arnold, Drake, and Don Heck, first appeared in X-Men number 54 in 1969. And do I have that? Absolutely. Havoc is one of the most powerful and overlooked X-Men in Marvel history. So why doesn't he have his own show? In this deep dive, we explore Alex Summers' full story from his comic book origins in X-Men number 54, 1969, to his appearances in X-Men the Animated Series, Wolverine and the X-Men, and possible future in the X-Men 97 or the MCU. We break down his tragic childhood, his brotherhood with Cyclops, his relationship with Polaris, his time leading X-Factor, and even his reality warping role in Mutant X. Havoc isn't just Cyclops' little brother. He's a walking nuclear reactor with one of the most emotionally rich arcs in X-Men universe. His real name is Alexander Summers, the younger brother of Cyclops, Scott Summers, but unlike his brother, Alex didn't grow up knowing who he was or what he could do. After a tragic plane crash, both Summers brothers were separated. Scott was sent to an orphanage and Alex adopted by another family. He grew up thinking he was normal until everything changed. One day, Alex was kidnapped by an Egyptian cult leader named the Living Pharaoh, who discovered Alex could absorb cosmic energy. The trauma triggered his powers, and Havoc was born. A human reactor, a walking bomb, a man destined to burn too bright for his own good. Powers and control. Havoc's power is raw chaos. He absorbs cosmic radiation from the environment and unleashes it as a plasma energy exploding from his chest in concentric circles. He's capable of vaporizing steel, leveling mountains, and even cracking asteroids, but the energy is unstable. It builds, it grows, and if he loses control, it consumes him. Unlike Cyclops, whose optic blasts are linear in focus, Havoc's power radiates in all directions, wild, uncontrollable, and devastating. He's constantly struggling to contain it. That's Havoc's curse. Not the power he has, but the control he can never quite master. Havoc has led multiple X-Men teams from the government-run X-Factor to alternate universe heroes in Mutant X, to even leading the X-Men themselves when Professor X and Cyclops were gone. But no matter how powerful he became, he was always living in someone else's shadow, his brother's shadow. To the world, Cyclops was the perfect soldier, disciplined, focused leader of the X-Men. But Alex was the fire that wouldn't stay contained. And that dynamic, the responsible brother versus the unstable one, is one of the most emotionally rich sibling rivalries in all of Marvel comics. Yet, it's a story that's barely ever told outside the comics. Love, loyalty, and failure. Havoc isn't just a soldier or a brother, he's also a lover. His on-again, off-again relationship with Polaris, Lorna Dane, is one of the oldest and most complicated romances in X-Men history. Two powerful mutants, two damaged people, both trying to control something inside them that never stopped screaming. At one point, they were engaged. At another point, she was possessed. And in alternate universes, they ruled kingdoms together or died trying. Through it all, Havoc keeps fighting, but not because he wants the glory, but because he's terrified of becoming exactly what he's trying to stop. Mutant X, his darkest timeline. One of Havoc's most underrated stories takes place in the comic series Mutant X. After a near-death accident, Havoc wakes up in a completely different universe, a broken world where familiar heroes are twisted versions of themselves. Storm is a vampire, Beast is a monster, Professor X is gone, and Alex Summers is her leader. Mutant X explores what happens when Havoc is no longer the second Summers brother, but the only hope they have left. Havoc in TV shows and movies. For a character with so much depth, Havoc's screen time has been surprisingly small. X-Men, the animated series, 1990s. He appears briefly, no backstory, no development, just a cameo in a love triangle with Polaris. X-Men Evolution. He finally gets some attention, a rivalry with Cyclops, a desert survivor arc, but after that, he disappears. Wolverine and the X-Men. Background character, one line, and then gone. X-Men movies, the Fox universe. He appears in First Class, Days of Future Past, Apocalypse, but instead of becoming a leader, he dies off screen. No closure, no legacy, no respect. And so far, in X-97, he hasn't appeared. Fans are waiting, and they know if any X-Men deserves redemption, it's Alex Summers. There was a picture of him in one of the X-Men 97 episodes where Storm visits Forge. Why he needs his own show. So why does Havoc deserve his own series? Because his story has everything Marvel claims to love: trauma, family, power, responsibility. A Havoc series could explore the Summers brother before the X-Men, his struggle to control his powers, his love story with Polaris, his leadership with X-Factor investigations, or even a Mutant X-style alternative reality, Marvel's first mutant sci-fi horror series. Havoc isn't a side character. He's a main character just waiting for someone to notice. Ending or call to action. Marvel, it's time. For decades, Havoc has carried cosmic power, emotional scars, and still fought for a world that never truly saw him. He's not just Cyclops' brother. He's a leader, a protector, and a ticking supernova that refuses to explode. So if you believe Havoc deserves his own movie, his own Disney Plus series, his own moment, then say it. Because sometimes the loudest voices come from the ones who've been silent for too long. Guys, you're watching the NDFX channel. Please hit that like button and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Drop your casting ideas, your favorite Havoc story, or your Mutant X theories in the comments. And as always, have a blessed day. And I'll see you on the next one.